Good morning and happy Monday, everybody. Today I wanted to talk about something that I've noticed is plaguing quite a few of my clients. And let me back up for a second. In case you don't know, I am Becca Newkirk. I am an LCSW and I specialize as a therapist in complex trauma that manifests in perfectionism, people-pleasing, and imposter syndrome. And I am also a clinic coach specializing in supporting people in going from type A to type B so they can have more fun and still get shit done. So today I wanted to talk to you about something that I've been noticing has been plaguing quite a few of my clients, and especially in the very beginning of their journey. And what I'm noticing is that we're having a difficulty distinguishing between anxiety and sort of like hypervigilance stuff and gut instinct, sort of like, that internal knowing. And I just wanted to talk about that for a minute because I feel like what I'm hearing is that a lot of my clients will bring this to their friends, and what they'll hear from friends is like, well, you probably know what is like your body saying, and like what is your internal knowing, and like if you feel like something's off, then probably something is off. And while I do agree that there is, something very powerful about gut instinct, and there is something very powerful about that internal knowing, for people who have lots of like fear and anxiety, for people whose like trigger is just a little bit finer and it's like a little bit easier to set off for like those alarm bells to be going off, it's sometimes really difficult to distinguish because it feels like something's wrong. But if you have anxiety, then you probably know it feels like something's wrong kind of all the time. And so it's hard to know, is this job a good fit for me? Is this relationship a good fit for me? Am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Should I put more effort or more energy into this space? And I've been thinking about this quite a bit. It is a bit of a nuanced difference, and we can talk more about that and how to get there or whatever if some of you have questions about this. But the way that I think about it, it sort of vibrates at a little bit of a different frequency. I think we can't tell if we're not in our body noticing, paying attention moment to moment. So if you tend to be go, 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 and you lean into that urgency, that's what I usually call it, that like pulling and pushing, that energetic sort of, I have to do something and I have to do it right now because I feel like it's, that's the only way that I'm going to be okay, and that like the sky is going to fall if I don't do it. If you're leaning into that urgency, you're not going to be able to tell if it's a deep knowing or if it's the anxious stuff. And so what I would ask is that if it's vibrating very fast and very high like that like push, 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 go, 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 that's probably not something you necessarily want to listen to. Now, rather, if you're able to slow down, settle down, get into your body, settle into it a little bit, and what you're noticing is, I sometimes use the visual, and maybe this imagery will be helpful for you, of like a deep like well full of water sort of like in your core that's just still, right? If you can get in touch with that, and some of us can and some of us can't, sometimes it takes a lot of practice, that's okay. But if you can get into that space, that's where the knowing is. That's where the sense of self is. That's how we know, yes, I'm in the right place, or no, this isn't something I want to be. Because if you're making a big life decision, like a career change, or deciding to get married, or take a relationship to the next step, or deciding if you want more kids, or if you want to move, or something like that, that shit is scary, okay? It's big, it's scary, it's hard. In no world, in no dimension are you just going to feel 100% completely positive about it unless you're running away from something, and we don't want to really be doing that either. And so we have to expect that there's going to be some sense, some amount of discomfort there, but that discomfort is going to be buzzy. It's going to be vibrating high and kind of like lifting. It's going to be that pulling, the urgency sensation. If you stop, if you take a minute, if you practice the mindfulness, drop into your body, use that imagery, the visualization of like that deep sense of knowing, that deep well inside of you, if you drop into there and it's still feeling off, right? And we can talk more about what this might feel like. I would love to hear from you what it has felt like for you. If any of you are familiar with this experience, on either side of it really, I'd love to hear what the circumstances was, what was the big change or transition you were considering, and how did you know? How did you know the difference between the vibrating sort of like urgent anxiety stuff that I'm not quite safe, right? Versus yes, this is either where I should be, or no, this doesn't feel quite right. That's what I want you to be able to develop for yourself. So again, just to summarize, we're talking about the difference between having those alarm bells kind of like constantly going off in the back of your head, or being scared of something because it's big, hard, or different. Change is always big, hard, and different. Versus being able to know, yes, I'm on the right path. Yes, I'm going in the right direction. Yes, this is something that I want to dump time and energy and effort into. So I hope that is helpful. Please let me know your thoughts below, and you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you later.